Sorry, Karen.
Yes, hello, did you want to talk to me?
Yeah, sorry.
right.
They had a question on that split on the, because there's on the ordinance, there's only 15% allowed or something
Which split? I'm not sure what's on the agenda. I
on
haven't
the
seen it.
Sherman Road and Sherman and Wells.
Oh, the one that he's trying to do 5 splits
Yeah.
off of it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I don't know what, I thought that they were allowed to get 5 off of it.
okay, but what was the question
I
about
don't
the
know.
15? There was, isn't in the ordinance something about 15%?
But apparently
Have to
that's
look.
Ag 1, according to Bob.
Oh, okay. All right,
So
well
the
then they
Land
made it.
division
Okay,
Only works in Ag 1.
okay.
Ag 2.
Sorry, they
is
figured it
unrestricted.
out then.
Okay, yeah, I think it met everything after Dave looked.
Well, I knew you two okayed it, but there was a question, so I just wanted to check.
Oh. Yeah, I think the only thing that was subject to was the Land Division Act in the number of splits, but I think they met, the 15% was like they said, yeah, only in Ag 1.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, 7 o'clock. I'd like to start this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance on our October 13th, 2022 regular board meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Start off, we have public comment. 2 minutes per person. Please state your name, where you're from.
I'm Amanda Safety. I'm from Milan Township. My mic isn't on. You guys
You
want
need to turn up.
No, that's separate.
You turn mic on.
I don't control that.
Well, you don't control that.
No. Matt's getting it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh. Well, thank you. Hi, Amanda Safety. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Everybody can hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to comment about a couple things on the agenda this evening. At the planning commission meeting on Tuesday, the PC chair made a motion to allow camping on commercial, and the other PC members kind of showed reservations about going through with this special use. And I just want to remind everybody that once this is allowed, they will go by that current ordinance. So it would be very difficult to make them go by anything else. Another thing I want to comment on is the repeal of the solar ordinance that's on your agenda tonight. It's on there illegally. Because technically a public hearing for that ordinance never took place. If I did pass these out to the board ahead of time, if you go to the second page, it shows the public notice that was in the paper. And it states, the purpose of the meeting will be to obtain public comments regarding the rescinding of the Milan Township zoning ordinance 13.27, large solar energy system ordinance. Therefore, 13.29, which is on your agenda tonight, never had a public hearing. They had a public hearing taking comments about rescinding 13.27. So 13.29 was discussed, but it was not a public hearing. And by law, you have to have a public hearing before a text amendment. So I do recommend that you scratch that off your agenda when you go to approving the agenda. Because if you try to pass that, then we're just making a bigger mess here. We're in this position because rules weren't followed. So I think it would be a good idea to start fresh and make sure that the rules are followed to a T. That means your zoning ordinance and state law. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Anyone else? Step forward, state your name and where you're from, please.
Mark Bogie, Milan Township. Just talking to you guys about the Cooper Road Bridge. What you guys come up with on that, and then when they're gonna take out the berms on the road. What you think about that?
Thank you very much.
Good evening, my name is Alex Deek. I'm an attorney with Bodman PLC. Part of my practice, I represent townships as well. And tonight I'm here on behalf of a group of landowners and advocates for preservation in this community. And I heard somebody already speak to what happened with regard to the solar ordinance at the PC. It seems like it's very unclear from a process standpoint what's happening right now. But I'd like to just, before the board tonight, really strongly encourage you to do this process right, follow the public hearing. I have a group of homeowners who are very interested in preserving agricultural property and would like to see solar installation come off AG. And so whether that's rescinding this ordinance tonight or sending it back to the planning commission to do this correctly, we just ask that the board really looks at this legally and does this correctly. Related to that, I know that this township has a moratorium on solar ordinance applications right now. Given the fact that it doesn't seem like we're close to passing a new amendment or otherwise maybe repealing in a legal way, we would ask that you at least extend that moratorium for right now. Give the township the time and the ability to look into this and to do this right. So if anything happens tonight, at least extending the moratorium on solar. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
You didn't think you were getting by without me.
I won't get you up there, Retta.
I noticed that you have the special use for getaway bay on the agenda, but the ordinance hasn't taken effect yet. Even if they did it right, which they didn't do the other night, but even if they did it right, it's still got to be published. Wait and see if there's a referendum and all that. So there is no ordinance. And John himself said, if there's no ordinance to say you can do it, you can't do it. So therefore, I don't know, I think you're jumping the gun. Plus, he mentioned about amending 10.01, I think it was, about the fact that the board is one under your current ordinance that's supposed to do the special use. So you have to hold it when it does come time. He won't be holding that until that ordinance also takes effect, which it hasn't done yet. And also, I assume, since John said that he was passing the rescinding ordinance past the attorney, and then now you're taking his word for it, he did that. Wouldn't it be nice to get that in writing? You know, any of us can say anything to get the answer we want. So, unless all of you guys in the planning commission were privy to that conversation or email to the attorney, how do you know what is that? How do you know what John says? And how do you know what his answer is? So I think you're taking his word. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm just saying everything should be sewed up tightly in writing, especially something that's important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Cheryl Majors, Milan, Cooper Road. I just wanted to know if indeed, when the Apex brochure came out, maybe a month ago or so, if the board, if anyone on the board actually did not know for sure that they asked us to put the brochures at the township office. Because it seems awful funny that all this on the brochure, it says, pick them up at the township office. And if that's the case, that's not right. And then I guess someone wants to answer that. So moving on. Phil, thank you for answering my email about posting the agenda a little earlier than at the last minute, looking into that. Other things don't get posted either. A lot of things I submit to John to get posted about comments for the solar. He seems to be able to post things pro-solar, but anytime it comes to anti-solar or just questions or concerns, they don't get posted. And then a lot of times we're told that, well, it's the website person can't get things posted in time. Well, in time means months, I guess, but it just doesn't get posted. And also, a lot of the times, I think I've been going to the planning commission meetings for, I don't know, it was cold the last time when I started, so whatever that was, but we've asked repeatedly for the attorney to be at our meetings. We have an agenda, or we're going through an ordinance. Well, that's an attorney question. That's a planning question. That's an attorney question. We never seem to get the attorney there. And I don't, why don't we get an attorney there? I mean, we can pay for Kevin to be there, and John can ask for additional meetings all the time, up and beyond, above and beyond once a month, but yet we can't get an attorney there. Is it a financial thing? I don't know. But we need to see an attorney show up at our planning commission to address questions. Is that my time up? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Share.
Anyone else?
Who represents that CAOC here?
None of your business.
Really?
Hey, guys, keep it friendly. Hearing no more public comment.
They can't answer my question.
What's
This is
that?
considered the organization.
This is.
If you're gonna send something to my house, then you send a name with that.
If you want to do this, guys, take it outside, not in here, please. We'll move on to approval of the agenda. Well, are there any additions or changes from what we've heard?
The repeal of the solar ordinance, is that legal to do at this time?
No.
From what I understand, no, because it hasn't been properly presented.
All right, then I make a motion, we take that off of that.
Been moved and supported to take the rescinding of the
Repeal of the solar ordinance.
appeal of the solar banking off the agenda. Has there been moved and supported? Is there everybody that's agreed, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries, it's been scratched. Any other changes?
The planner we have on here, this was a vote on a planner. I think we got a few people out there. I don't have any information on these people.
No, you don't, because the one planner that wanted to come, couldn't come in for the interview prior to tonight's meeting. So, we're gonna have to call a meeting to have her come in so you can all interview her. And, the other one,
Can you?
Can you-
the one planner that we have can't come into the, couldn't come in for an interview, which the board wants to do now before we hire anybody. So we will have to make arrangements to have that done before we present her. And then the other one, she doesn't feel like she qualifies because she just moved here from Oregon and she really doesn't know Michigan law. And everything she based her opinions on would be from Oregon, and their laws are different than ours. So I don't know if we want to proceed with interviewing her or not. And the other two people that I had that, can you hear me? Okay. The other two people that applied for it are too far away. One was in Grand Rapids, one was in Rose Seal. There was another one from Mason, Michigan, and they all felt it was too far to come. So I only have the two. The one lady's in Clinton that just came from Oregon, and the other one's from Monroe. So for the cuts the planner, I think we're gonna have to table it till next month until I can get them in for an interview.
Right, without any information on these two, I say I make a motion that you scratch the planner.
Altogether, or shall we interview?
Just until we know who it is. It's hard to hire somebody that I have never seen or talked to or.
Without interviewing, correct? I
Right.
agree.
That's how I wanted to table it. Okay.
So can we make a motion to table that until the next meeting? Or
Move to support the table of decision on the planner till next meeting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes, any additions or changes?
You got a minute? I don't either. None of this happened.
Just have to do it next month.
Start to do it next month. I'm sorry, it's my fault. With everything else going on, everything's going on.
Okay, I guess we put off the minutes until we get a copy of them.
What do you still need to approve the agenda? Is it approved?
Yeah. The agenda, we approved it to wait until,
So we voted, but, so, okay.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as we scratch the two off of it,
as we amended it.
as we amended it, yes.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Disbursements, well, first we gotta get order disbursement.
Okay, April for September was 8,564.
Can you speak into the mic? Can you speak into the mic?
Payroll for September was 8,564.74. Bills that we paid came to 15,245.55 for total disbursements of $23,810.29.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion, we accept the
I'll support it.
disbursements.
They moved and supported to accept the disbursements. There will be a roll call
Okay,
vote. Supervisor?
supervisor?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, treasurer,
Yeah.
trustee Lanza? Yes. Trustee Jankowski,
Yes.
clerk, yes.
Motion carries. Fund balance report.
All right, your general fund has 474,524. Your tax account has 638,179. Your fire fund has 94,613. The road fund has $112,063 for $1,319,000. Wow. $1,319,381. All your CDs are up. The CDs, from the 368,966. Your COVID relief money is still there at 159,414. You have a savings account at 55,717 for a combined total of $1,795,943.02. And I will have to tell you this, that if you read the tax account, it says $638,000. That was at the first of the month. Now, they just dispersed 99% of that, so. Because all your tax money that comes in this summer tax is all county operating and state ed, so that goes to Monroe County.
I see our CDs are up to date, so I think the earliest one expired is January of 23. CDs have gone up right now, the interest has gone up, we don't have anything we can renew them.
Nope, not until December, couple months.
Yeah, December 27th, okay.
Yeah.
And boy, it'd be better than what they're paying on that, so. Is there any questions for Joel? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to accept this for the fund balance report. Moved and supported, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Building report, hold it.
During September, 8 permits were issued totaling $1,370. David Cranbrook, 9 hours at the hall, issued 8 permits, received 1 site plan, and made 2 inspections. Don Olszewski made 2 mechanical inspections. There were no electrical or plumbing inspections. Expenses for September totaled $559.35.
Any questions? Motion be in order to accept the building report.
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
I'll second that.
Moved and supported, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All the same sign, motion carries. Okay, assessors report, is Karen on there?
Go ahead.
Yep, hello, good evening, everybody. I'm finishing up Far Road aerial GIS reviews. I'm getting ready to mail inspection cards for fall inspections, which will consist of all the building permits for 2022 and unfinished 2021 permits. I picked up the drain assessments from the Monroe County Drain Commission. As soon as I review them, I'll give those to Joel to put on the winter tax roll. We finished the 2022 clerk statement and I submitted that to the clerk to submit to the county, which she did that. Thank you for doing that, Barb. I submitted copies of the 2022 personal property statements that were selected by the county for audit. That's a normal procedure. Working on economic condition factors and finishing up the residential values. Looking ahead, I'm going to analyze the county appraisal studies when received for industrial, commercial, and agricultural classes to determine the starting ratios in each class. I'll visit the parcels for building permits issued for the remainder of this year for the 2023 roll and balance with the treasurer for the 2022 winter tax bills upcoming probably in November. And then I'll do my personal property canvas for December 2022 for the 2023 roll. So that's it.
Any questions for Karen? Make a motion to accept the assessors report. Moved and supported, accept the assessors report as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Milan Fire Department report, no meeting last month, it's supposed to be one in November. There was a mix up, On the last dates on it, they had lack of a quorum, but everything. But we're back on schedule for November at the fire department. Okay, old business. Well, we got the planners, so that's on the shelf for now. New business, the land division for Daniel Herman at Sherman and Allen Roads.
This is on Allen Road and.
Wow.
Sherman Road, Allen, it's that Okie corner where they changed signs.
Yes.
Our problem out there.
And they're gonna split that one up and make. What, 5 lots?
They wanted to say 5 is allowed according to the building inspector and the assessor. In that ag district, ag 2. Not ag 1, correct?
Yeah, it's ag 2.
Okay, I'm just saying that's where it's allowed.
Right.
Okay, just making sure I say it right.
All right. And it looks like they approved that already, the building inspector.
The building inspector and the assessor. For you to look at. Oh, critical.
Yeah. Is that just a big chunk of farmland? What is that?
23 acres.
Any particular questions on it? Concerns? Motion would be in order to approve the split test.
I'll make a motion to approve the split.
Do I hear support?
I'll support that.
Been moved and supported to approve the split of Daniel Herman at the corner of Sherman and Allen Road, okayed by the assessor and the building inspector. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Bids on the repair of the township hall ceiling.
Okay, I advertised
Put your
it,
microphone.
I advertised it and, we really didn't get any response. I did get one response, but they kind of changed their mind. They don't think they're interested.
So
Really didn't have any.
I'll put it on Craig's, we're gonna advertise
We're gonna-
online and stuff to
we're gonna
continue.
Go ahead and advertise it online.
See as how it's coming to be winter, I got a couple contacts I'm gonna call to and see if they wanna bid on it.
Good.
Oh, I think
Is it not gonna affect the way it is right now, Kevin? It's not gonna affect voting, right?
No,
I'm just. Clarifying, like somebody to turn in some bids.
It doesn't look like we're gonna be using that room for a little while.
No. Okay, so that's on hold until we get some bids to come in. Make a motion to table it.
I make a motion to table that so we get some bids.
Bids.
I'll support.
Moved and supported, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion tabled.
And just to be clarified, that's just the ceiling, want the ceiling tore out and replaced.
1 and 6, I don't know what their analogy of fixing is.
I mean, you can patch with a bucket of mud, but you know,
Not that.
no,
So, no, it's replaced. And I'm assuming that they'll have to take what's left of the drywall down to the rafters and
If you're gonna do it, might as well do it right.
absolutely.
And actually, I would like to also have them give us bid for just the ceiling, but also a bid for replacing the electrical. Because we don't have enough outlets for the machines and everything else for election. So that really needs to be looked at too.
Well, I think we talked a while back about how much extra money we need around here. Because, you know, the COVID relief money is 160, I don't know if you not. Anyway, past that, we got $368,000 in CDs. And we got another 100,000 in another CD in savings. So I think we talked that time about this, keeping like 300,000. You know, for a safety net, so that tells me that we got like 150,000. Not that I'm gonna spend 150 grand on this building, because that's a nice ceiling,
But that's what we have to work with.
but we got, you know.
Appreciate that. Okay. Repeal of solar ordinance.
That all.
Wow. That has been removed. And then we'll go with the here, the street lighting increase. And that's the first one.
Yeah, so, I need a resolution on the lighting. Last year was $95. This year it's gonna be 102. There are 84 households or land pieces, I guess, that contribute to that.
Well, I've got something to say on that, especially in Azalea. I have reported to DTE, had them told me it would be taken care of. I've got it on the computer where I said the things, and I think you got 3 of them on Azalea. I will. I'm gonna get kind of pushy, but I know we're paying it, but if they're not gonna have lights for it, we're gonna have to have a discussion, but we can't charge people.
Recording in progress.
Right, and how I did, I just took the last 12 months on the electrical, on the street lights. Divided by the 84, and it comes up to 102. So it's about a $7 increase.
Oh, yeah, that's good, because it used to be a lot more, but it was so far behind, but at least we're on track to 102, and we can accept that for now, and I will be in contact with DT again and get somebody out. They replaced one with a new fluorescent or LED or something, but it seemed to be the photo line. One night they worked, and 6 more nights they don't work on those standards. So I've asked like when the siren people come out, let me know you're coming. I like to meet with them and see what's going on. DT doesn't call them that Thursday. Well, when we get it through, so I will follow up on that and have a meeting. And let you know next week what's going on. It's easier to go with the increase, but I mean.
It's either I go with the increase or I have to shut the lights off. Because then we're the only people that get paid, these people.
I know, we'll get out.
So can I make a motion that we raise it from 95 to 102?
And I'll support it. Any discussion, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
All right. When I put out my tax papers, Jim used to send them out and have them sent out and done by KCI. And I like to try that again, just because I'm really burning up the printer and stuff when I do that. And it was like, she gave me a quote of $850. That's postage. and everything.
Postage and everything.
Yes. So, because I'm spending money.
Feel like you can do a roll call on that light, spending money.
We're not spending any money.
Not on that.
That's a normal increase.
So I'd like to make a
Yeah.
motion that I could
Wow.
spend
We
$850
should roll call
and send them out. Like,
According to Karen. According to Karen, you said you should roll call it.
That's the same company, Jim.
yes, same company,
They have all the furniture, mailing and everything.
yes.
Anybody got any questions on doing that?
No,
I'll make the motion to hire the same people again. but- Then moved and supported, all in favor say aye.
We're spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, okay.
I'm getting good at this now.
Try to show me off.
Just to be safe, I'd go back on the other two.
Huh?
I said, just to be safe, I'd go back on the other one too and do the roll call, just to cover it.
Okay, let's roll call this one, we'll go back up and roll call the others to make sure that it was right.
Okay, Joel, yea or nay?
Yes.
Roll call? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
yes,
So backing up to the late assessment increase. Can we, well, increase it to $7, can we redo it or just amend the way we call the roll? We've already approved it, but
Right.
let's amend it to say roll call vote instead of just an aye.
Okay. Joel?
Yes, aye.
Olga? Yes.
Yes.
Bob?
yes,
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to sirens. Monroe County has two early warning siren systems in the county. One at the corner of Old Treasure and Ann Arbor Road, and one at the Old Town Elevator down in town. Quite a few years ago, Monroe County came up with this early warning system and got all the townships to do it. And they installed them and everything would be fine for a couple of years, and then the township had to take over the maintenance and do everything on it. Well, the systems they put in were nice at the time, but they were used ones from the big city that they upgraded and given to us. Now, 15 years later, the siren cabinets has been updated. But the horn speakers, whatever you want to call it, trumpets on them, are failing, the drivers are failing. And it's gonna cost a lot to repair them, and one of them is for sure, it's so obsolete, they don't get parts for it. So they're going to send me I talked to this Jeff yesterday, what do you want to call it? A quote, an estimate thing, somebody. And what it would cost to upgrade them. And basically it's $8,500. They'll replace the horns on top with omnidirectional horns and leave the cabinets and the telephone pole at the Tacoma one they want to replace, but he said he's got one all set up with the pole and the siren head on top, and it'll just change the boxes. But I've got to get that written quote. But we're looking at $8,500 to upgrade the early warning system, which it's really great in cities and where you get parks and stuff, there's not a lot of people here. Them sirens, other than unless you live right underneath them. They claim that they'll be better than this new omnidirectional head on them. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what we get. But that's what I got on West Shore.
Is that something we have to have? And they're great, when they used to be great, but everybody has a cell phone now, and usually they blow up as soon as something's coming around. And every time I hear that siren, it's just another
Did I hear something?
testing, It's like when your car alarms go off, nobody runs to your car because it's just another car alarm going off.
Totally agree with you,
And
Joe.
I just, if you have to have them to not be sued or anything for the township. But
It's not mandatory that I'm aware of. But that is something I totally agree with Checker. I said, for what they charge in maintenance every year. I said, everybody in the township of Milan could get a $20 weather radio with WDID people, but we still save money just on maintenance.
most people with a cell phone, you can get the app, weather app on it.
Oh, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's just old school. Right, it's still cheaper. Now with a cell phone, it'll wake me up. That siren in Corner Village never woke me up when I had the store in Cone, so.
I live a mile and I have to wait on it. I gotta be outside to hear it.
So, but that's something I'll get the quotes and everything, present to the board, I'll make copies of the email. And you can think about it till next meeting, look it over and figure out what we can figure out. And I do not think it's mandatory. I don't, but I don't know.
That's would be the only thing. If it was mandatory.
For the mandatory, then we'll be looking at upgrades,
Right.
but I'll find out from EMD. Yeah, so we'll have to table it until we get more answers for next meeting. I don't think we're gonna have too many tornadoes between now and the next meeting, so.
That's the problem. As soon as we take that away, it'll be a tornado. And then they'll yell at me, I wish they had the siren.
That's Murphy's Law in action. All right, moving on. Now we're moving to the event license to get away. But I think we've determined that's off the menu too. Pending further properties. Issues from board members first.
Okay, I received a letter from, Milan Township, and they are, changing their master plan. And they sent it to us, and if anybody on the board is interested in looking at their change, to their master plan, I have a website that you can go to. So just let me know, and I'll be glad to give it to you, and you can go in and look at it. We have until, December 7th. to let her know.
Is this meeting for board members or anybody?
This is for board members.
Anything else? Mr. Gotts?
I got nothing.
You already spoke. Ms. Manson?
Trash day on September 17th, we had 68 loads come in, and the donations totaled $303.
We did get it in less compactors and stuff, though, didn't we?
And it costs less than in the
Yeah,
past.
that is something to debate, because before the tax bills come out again, we need to have a spring date to put on the envelope, but given the numbers that we had, and when we spent 3,500,
This last time,
yeah,
no, it wasn't that much.
well, okay, I got that figure somewhere, but because it was down from the previous years again, do we want to go to one cleanup per year? and it's gonna take 3,500 in the spring, 3,500 in the fall, it costs. But most people in the fall are either up north or doing something, cleaning, closing up cabins. In the springtime, everybody's getting ready for graduations and weddings, and they're really all going to go on cleaning. Our springs are always been big. It's not that we can't afford it, it's just it's logical, practical.
We had quite a few people there in the spring. I didn't make it to the fall, but did we have quite a few people there?
What do we have, 90?
68.
68 people. I say you both, and you can,
Well, I just want you to think, I'm good with both, I mean.
you got time, 'cause my tax paper comes out, the 1st of December, so we could go around and bring it up at the November meeting.
Okay, well, the reason I asked is getting the spot on
Yeah.
Steven's calendar and trying to decide what date. Is it early May, late May, April, October? What the best months are? Anybody wants to suggest it, can let me know.
I think what we did last year was pretty good. I don't have the dates on it. but-
Yeah, well, this year we was a little earlier than we normally are. I don't know if that hurt or not. So we'll go see how close we can get to last year's dates. Like you said, that was a good success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, serious.
I can't hear. All right, anything else, Olga?
No.
Mr. Topolsky?
Nothing this evening.
Me, I've talked all night, I'm good right now. Staff, so that would be Kevin.
Yep. We got an election November 8th. Baby ballots have gone out. We can still get applications if anybody wants a Navy ballot. We did the accuracy test today. Everything came out all right, chose the workers. The Clerks Association, everybody is against proposal 2, mainly because they want the polls to be open for 9 days before the election. And the state isn't offering the townships any money to staff that, so that would be at a cost to the township. And then we had a security grant that we had to use the money by the end of September. $1,500. We chose a new electronic poll book and 4 security cameras. That's all I got.
All right. Sounds good, thank you. That brings us to public comment again.
Tim Stoll, Milan Township. Tim Stoll, Milan Township. I'd like you guys to strongly suggest that you guys pull a motion tonight for a 6-month moratorium. So that we seem to be going backwards on the solar stuff. We need to be going forward. As slow as the PC is, and I don't blame them, it's just somebody on there, the chairman or somebody's not getting their T's crossed and their I's dotted. Need to put a 6-month moratorium on there, at least 6 more months before somebody gets hung. And this goes without anything, then the township SOL. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Austin Blaine, Milan Township. I'd just like to make a suggestion, hopefully either get our lawyer at the next planning commission meeting and board meeting, or hire a new lawyer at this point. I've been coming for 3 months now, I'm asking for a lawyer, haven't seen one there yet, just he's been saying stuff, so if we get one there in person, it would help make sure things have happened tonight, where if 3 things get tabled, it doesn't happen again. So thank you.
Thank you. Are we willing to re-speak?
Yes, it's a,
Oh, yeah, okay. Go ahead, state your name
You
again.
you just did for me.
Well, I'm trying to help.
I appreciate it. I'm Amanda Tate. a couple things that I just wanted to address real quick. Regarding the missing minutes, you cannot approve them at the next meeting. I don't know if you guys have this. This is your Bible, and there we go. So on page 165, it says, if a board forgets or does not vote to correct or approve minutes, those minutes still stand as approved in the sense that they cannot be changed after that meeting. So it doesn't matter if you bring them to the next meeting, they're already approved, okay? Another thing I wanted to talk about was the planning commission. I really truly think that this board needs to do something about the planning commission. I have seen members show reservations, speak up, and your PC chair just makes motions and does not really, I don't believe he really listens to his commissioners. I've seen it at multiple meetings, and it's very disheartening because they're supposed to be working as a team, as are you. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, somebody mentioned the minutes earlier. I know that you guys kind of like switched over. A lot of the minutes are missing. I also was trying to look at the PC bylaws, and the page just resets itself. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
so, yeah, actually I tried to click a lot of links and the page just reset itself. So that might be something you want to look into. But while I was looking at the website, I went through minutes from this year back to 2018. So we're talking 4 years fully.
No.
Don't ignore it.
Okay. The board not that I saw in any of those minutes has appointed any members to the planning commission. According to the red book, with the exception of the ex officio member, which would be your trustee, planning commission members are appointed to staggered 3-year terms. So you have 4 members, and not one of them that I saw in minutes for 4 full years has been appointed. So as far as I'm concerned, and the law would be concerned, if they're not appointed, they're just holdovers. So that means you have 4 vacancies. And I bet you could get a lot of applications and new faces on that planning commission. And 3 of those members, I believe, have been on there since 2008 because their names are on the zoning ordinance. So I think it would be a great idea to get new faces on your planning commission, new faces for your newer residents, and thank the ones that have served many, many years. But I think their time is up. Thank you.
Denise Breyer, Milan Township. There was a comment made about you weren't sure what to do with your COVID relief funds.
No. We weren't, that was not said.
Yeah, it was. You were certain, you said, I'm not sure what.
Oh, on the ceiling.
Well, you actually could use it for anything that you want to, besides paying debt or employee benefits. Raisonville Township used it for fixing roads, cleaning up cemeteries, and getting new carpet. Monroe County used it to buy a building department truck and put in a new park. So what are you using it for?
Awesome.
It's been sat there for a while, and we're trying to get money for the township. I think that would be a good thing to think about using. The schools have until 2026 to use yours, when theirs, when yours expires.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, I think we should figure out what to use it. I can think of a couple roads that might need fixed, or something that might need fixed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda, Milan Township. Just to touch a little on your your early warning device, wasn't that originally partly, partially, maybe fully funded when Fermi went in? Didn't they contribute?
Originally,
Okay, and now they're not.
the township took it away years ago from, or the county paid for it for 2 years. And then dumped it into the township labs, and that's how it got started. And I'm not gonna answer anything else because I don't know.
So Fermi started it as an early warning device for a meltdown, basically. And then we went off of that for weather. And now they dropped it. Who's to say our next developer in this township won't do the same damn thing?
Thank you. Anyone else?
Cheryl Majors, Milan Township again. I just want to finish what I had started back to the planning commission. It was nice to know that what Amanda did a research on that we could appoint new people on the planning commission, because I'm sure that we'll have some volunteers out in the audience here that would love to take that job, because especially the planning chair, because it's so one-sided and he doesn't listen to anyone's comments. He doesn't listen even to his members. And it just gets to be annoying that it's his way or the highway. And so I strongly suggest that you reconsider, or perhaps even let him know what his job is with the planning commission, because I'm not sure he knows. Because it seems to be the one person planning commission that represents all of us and reports, well, I don't even know if we report back to you guys, but I don't appreciate coming to one meeting after another and we get told the same thing. Nothing, because everything is put into writing, but I don't think it's shared with anyone, and it's all done by one person. Thank you.
John Shaw.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Over there.
Oh,
Just in the meeting on the 20th, I'm the last one to speak. One of the planning commissioners can actually be one that is not a voter in the township, but owns property in the township. I am not volunteering, but I do own a house in Milan Township, so I am eligible. So there could be someone else in the same position. Just to be fun. I know you want to see me.
oh, red up. Come on, I'm trying to keep myself over there.
I know that overwhelmed.
If there's no one else,
Planning commission, if people have been there for years and years, perhaps we should ask for volunteers and then have a meeting to maybe get new people on.
And then train them and give them material, educational material.
I'll help train them. For free. as long as it's done right.
Well, I no, that's great, and I think in the last years and years, there's nobody's stepped up to do that. And I don't know too much about that, but you know, it seems like everything up here, even these right here, all of us, you know, you gotta get talked into coming up here and doing this.
We gotta be given an opportunity.
You know, opportunity, you can, anybody in the township could be the treasurer or the clerk or the supervisor, all you gotta do is get out there, get voted on. So, you know, come on up, 2 more years, you put all 4 new people up here, you know, it's up to you, come on and vote yourself in. You know?
okay. Want a motion tonight?
You got another question?
Mike,
Sharon Worcester, Milan Township. Sharon Worcester. Ooh, better. Sharon Worcester, Milan Township. And I think we're all looking to see if maybe we could get another extra 6 months on the solar, because as you can tell, we are in a mess. Both boards are a mess. So we need structure. We need a leader. So I'm just asking for some help so that we can get this situation, or I should say we all are asking for help to get the situation resolved. We want to know, we've been working on this for how many years? We want some decisions. So please think about 6 months more moratorium, which I think we've been suggested.
We asked the planning commission 2 days ago.
And we asked the planning commission 2 days ago. So, and I think there was a lot to give on the planning commission for, Bob, because I think you're the one that's supposed to elaborate on what happened on Tuesday. So, can you give us a little bit more of a detail? Okay. I'm just asking. But basically, there wasn't much that, it was a whirlwind. So just to let you guys know that who wasn't here, it was just like, we didn't understand. It was like, what is he trying to say, John? We're just trying to get this resolved. I'm tired of it. I've been doing it for 2 years and we're not getting anywhere. So next, no, we're not, Colin. But next thing is I would like Apex off of the Milan Township website, unless you're gonna let CASA be presented. So we have some even boundaries. So with that being said, thank you for serving your time. I appreciate your time, but we want to get back to our life too, okay? And I think it's time to make some pull our bootstrings, pull our pants up. We need to make a decision. Thank you.
Claire Ostrander, Milan Township. In regards to the moratorium, I just want to remind you that it is not expiring until January 15th, so we have time. And as far as the planning commission is concerned, if there are going to be any changes to the planning commission, that the people that are appointed are not either against solar or for solar. They need to be neutral.
Anyone else care to speak? You have to come up to the mic. I can't hear you. Please state your name.
Thanks, Tom. You, I live on Old Stranger. I like to get my minutes.
You'd like to what?
Give my time to talk to the lady that in the corner.
I just have just like one.
I want to give her my time.
Yes, he can do that.
Yeah. He can do that.
Him that just got done talking.
Making sure it's all right.
I just forgot. I'd like to say my name one more time.
I think we know yet.
I'm sure everybody knows me by now. I forgot to just, the two papers that I gave you, I passed out in the very beginning. The first one is the fact sheet from the Michigan Municipal League regarding public hearings. And first, I want to reiterate about the trainings, because the public hearings that were held on Tuesday, they were not public hearings. The public hearing was opened, and then discussion was had up at the board instead of actually letting the public speak. Then during the second public hearing, when I tried to correct and call point of order to the chairman, told him about it, told him that this is time for public speaking. And he just continued talking. Pretty much ignored what I had to say and just continued talking. It was when Rebecca called point of order, and then he kind of backed up a little bit. But I just want to read this part real quick, just to remind our planning commission members, to remind our board members, a public hearing offers citizens an opportunity to be heard. You should be viewed as a serious effort on the part of the elected officials or appointed officials to secure as much information as possible about a topic before a final decision is made. I just want it, y'all won't have to see me ever again if all of this is done the way that's all I want. I'm not trying to harass you personally. I just want to see the laws followed, because if the laws are followed, then we wouldn't be in this position, right? So, thank you guys. I hope you all have a good evening. Was that a snack for me?
No, it was attacking me, I thought.
Oh.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
God, it was there. I don't really need one anyway. But is there anyone else?
Sally Straub, Denison Road. I want you to remember that our group, CASA, is not against solar. We're against where it's being placed, number one. We asked for a town hall so there could be transparency. We wanted the board there. We wanted the planning commission there. What happened to that? It's never happened. You guys, we mentioned it at the last meeting. Can there be a decision made tonight about that? I think that's the issue. You, Phil, wouldn't let this go to a vote. You felt the public was informed. We know through Loretta's work that that was not done appropriately. As you can tell from the attendance at township meetings and planning commission meetings, people were not aware. Where's that town hall? We want a meeting that's transparent. We're asking about extending the moratorium. Why isn't that being discussed? You know, and Joel, in response to you, it's very hard to get people to be involved in local government. I'm one of those, okay? I'm just as guilty as everybody else here. But maybe now this is time to look in that red book. Let's follow the rules. There are other people that probably step up. And I agree, it needs to be people who are non-biased, but we're very concerned about what has taken place, how we got to where we were. Rules were not followed. It doesn't feel good on this side. It really doesn't. I want there to be transparency. I want this to be done correctly and right. This will be your legacy. You know, and I'm just saying, you know, and that's what I want. I want a town hall with both boards there so we can have fair question and answer. Last time you said you had to talk to the attorney. Did anybody talk to the attorney? Did anybody reach out to the attorney? The other thing is when you look at the meeting minutes, it'll say it was discussed, but there's nothing there that says, that elaborates that it was resolved. You come to this meeting, was there a follow-up to say, hey, public, we talked to the attorney. We can't do a town hall. You don't get answers. That's why we're frustrated. That's why we're filling this auditorium. We need answers. It's your job. You're the supervisor. This is your crew. That is your clerk. And when are we going to get the answers? Can you talk about it tonight and schedule a town hall? Can you talk about it tonight and extend the moratorium? Because what's in place is not acceptable.
Well, Joel said the moratorium goes till January, but we can discuss, but not, I'm not prepared to
The
say
attorneys
anything.
recommended that. Your
No, he
attorney
didn't.
suggested you know, rescind the ordinance that's in place. And nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. You're having meetings behind doors, sitting down at the township hall or where else, having conversation. That's in the red book. That's not allowed. Have you read the red book?
Yes, I have,
Yes.
and I know what you're referring to, and I'm gonna remain silent.
I am frustrated, just like everybody else in this room, but can we have a town hall meeting with both boards and have it be transparent? Can we please extend the moratorium? Things were not done correctly, for whatever reason, they weren't done correctly. We're frustrated. It's not personal, it's just frustrating. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Next thing on here is an adjournment. Your motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
To adjourn? Thank you, I heard you. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?